Hello YouTube and welcome to episode of Kerbal Engineering by GrunfWorks. Today I will be showing you how to build a Laythe SpaceDock that we have been showing in the previous episode of our Interplanetary Voyage of Exploration Series 2. Now, the goal or the mission for this particular craft is to go to the Laythe orbit and become a component of the Laythe orbital station there, allowing also us to feature 6 Kerbals and transport them safely as a Kerbal popsicles or frozen using the deep freeze mod. And we have, I believe, 1 or 2 components that we already shipped to Laythe, and I will be docking them. I think the Joule supplies ship or something. I will be docking that one as soon as these guys come along. So because I'm using remote tech, I need to have a control center to be able to play without or dock without signal delay. So yeah, this is the SpaceDock, and it will be used to dock various crafts to that station. A little bit of life support. I don't want to overdo it because we are sending the life support supplies ship over there. And so that's the one part of the component, or one part of the space station per se. Second part, what we'll have, it will have the station core, which is basically, I was thinking first putting it like this, but then if I attach it like this, I wouldn't have any ability to expand the station onwards because I have only 1 docking port senior on the station at the moment. And if I dock this as is, then that's it. So in hindsight, I was thinking first, okay, we'll take it like this, just cryopod and a SpaceDock, and then we'll be none the wiser. So let's call it Station Joule SpaceDock. I have no idea why I call it Joule when I will be shipping it off to Laythe, but yeah, I guess Joule System SpaceDock, whatever. I'm trying basically to justify my own mishap or misnaming. But then I've thought, okay, well, I need to be able to expand this base further. So I have decided to add a station core component and basically, a crossing and also some more docking ports, because who doesn't like docking ports? 2 seniors, and then we will be adding 2 regulars. And just to make sure that those regulars do stick out, I want to be attaching life support supplies. I think it's a good filler to make sure that these docking ports are sticking out while also providing a function for the base. Okay, now let's put our RCS thrusters and let them position so that I basically kill the circle, the rotating angle. Good. And then we have only translation. So this is how I balance my craft. Okay, so that is the actual station component. Now we need a transfer stage to get it there. And I have actually found a nice handy way to be putting, I first need to put a probe core as well, because I don't know if the other station, part of the station already there has a probe core. It's a requirement that by remote tech 6 Kerbals plus the large probe core. Also, I want it to look nice, so I'm putting some lights, so the ships when docking can see the landing lights. Okay, and this is all tucked in the 5-meter expanded fairing. Also, let's put a communitron over there. Let's put some more antennas to be able to communicate with the other vessels that are around. And now we put this and we have a big ass rocket. As you can see, I was initially thinking to put a huge rocket and then I attached the 2 SSTOs here. clearly that was a bad design. Why, you will see in a minute. It didn't have enough delta V, as simple as that. So, rather than that, I have decided to take a 5-meter tank using the Space Y mod, and I'll be putting the docking ports here, because the moment I would detach that huge... I need my actually transfer stage, which is this, to have my SSTOs on it and to be nimble enough so that it can flip, turn and do whatever it needs to, because that one will be rendezvousing with a station. So yes, I need a 5-meter SAS, which I'm gonna be putting here. And then I'm looking for some good thrusters, and I'm thinking nervous. So let's put, 8 Nervas plus 2 of this vessel should give it a nice kick in the ass and a very good delta V, I assume. Okay, so let's put the fuel pumps or fuel lines from the central 5-meter stack to the SSTOs, because we do want the fuel to flow from the transfer stage to the SSTOs, providing fuel for the Nervas. Okay, that's the fuel flow, and now we would need, I believe, I want to put an interstage, and I wouldn't know where to find the correct interstage for this bad boy, for the Space-Y, so I have decided to go with a procedural interstage fairing. Oh, something like that? Well, this one doesn't look like the part. It would look hideous. I don't like it. So, yeah, let's build a procedural one instead. We put it here. And... oops, I believe I put it on the wrong place. So let's put it to 5-meter, top 5-meter as well. Great, and let's make sure we put it on the correct one. Nope. Oh, this is tricky. Nope. I believe this is the correct one. Okay, let's put a little bit wider base. And let me now just look for the eggshell fairing. Yeah, this now looks correct. Great. And now I just need to look for the fairing. Yeah. Conic fairing, and there we go. Looks good enough. Okay, let's just see that we want fewer nodes, we just want 2 components. Great. I really like the interstage fairing adapter, it looks really cool. Then I want to be putting another big ass rocket here. Do we have anything bigger? Nope. And then we put like this Space-Y launch engine. Come on. Fit there, damn you. Good. So let's put it roughly where it's supposed to be. And now let's put radial attachment points, and at that point I want to be putting some boosters. So we can put like 4 of these and let them feed into the central stack. Then I'll be putting some Rhino engines beside. Check your staging. Okay, that gives me 1100 meters per second and another 1500 at takeoff, so I actually need more. So let's see if we can have some SRBs. Too small? Too fat and chubby? Something bigger? Okay, you look plausible. Okay, let's see if we can offset everything slightly lower so that everything is roughly in the same height. You too, guys. Okay. And then I want to have SRB detachment nose cones. Let's just turn them so they are correctly placed. Great. Awesome. Okay, we have to once again check our staging. That gives us around 3200 delta V at until we get to orbit, and I think that should be enough. Then we can do another 100 meters per second burn, so yeah. Okay, let me just check my staging, because that one is messed up, obviously. We want liquid fuels to ignite, we want SRBs to ignite, and then at the detachment stage we want the nose cones to ignite, and then yes, then we have the fuels detaching, and then we have the rest, I guess. Good. Okay, then I want to be putting some procedural wings at the back, and I want to be putting the all-moving wings because I don't have fins that large. And I know, guys, that you said, I mean, when you have a gimbaling engines, you don't need your center of thrust and center of lift to be placed, you know, one after each other, but I have found that this creates a self-stabilizing rocket. If I want to flip, I don't need to worry how much am I thrusting sideways or not. It makes a very, very stable rocket per se, so, and that's something that I always enjoy. Okay, let's put like this, and I found this to be all moving wing procedural from Procedural Dynamics. It creates some big ass fins, but ultimately I don't care. Just move them downwards, and let's see, a little bit bigger. They're monstrous. Okay, and as you can see, center of lift, center of mass, great. Now I'm looking for some huge launch clamps. Okay, some struts, because I have forgotten to strut my space planes to the rocket. Having them running on docking port alone doesn't seem like a great idea, so yeah. As you can see, some of my viewers thought that these were SSTOs to Laythe. Well, technically, to the Laythe they're going like shuttles. On the Laythe area, like orbit to surface, they will be working as SSTOs, hopefully. Checking my staging, and I believe, guys, it's time for a first test. I feel fairly confident that this should be working fine. Okay, let's start the simulation. Ooh, physics freaking out. I don't know why, but I don't like it. Okay, throttle to max, and let's kick the engines. Ooh, release the clamps. Well, we successfully launched, but we destroyed launch pad in the process. Valentina doesn't seem overly concerned. Okay. doing our gravity turn. Everything looks great. So far the rocket seems very stable. Our thrust to weight is good. I'm also throttling down a little bit our thrust to weight because I want to save some delta V for the actual, post-gravity turn stuff, as one of my commenters has nicely put, so thank you very much for that comment, because you don't need insane thrust to weight in the atmosphere, yeah. Okay, solids are gone. Now we're only going on the liquid ones. Our apoapsis is climbing, 55. We have a total of... Oops! What was that? Was that one Nerva that went? Okay, this makes me slightly concerned. Well, we have a total of 1,300 delta V on this stage. Okay, great. Let us just put here and extend this. Okay, great. Roughly 1,300 to circularize, and we have 1,100, meaning 200 of that delta V we will be using Nervas, and that's fine. So let's deploy this fairing. Beautiful. Then when we were talking fairing, then we will be thinking deploying the other one as well, but only after we have burned our... yeah. Okay, accelerating until the burning point. And I hit the stage to test this, and all of my Nervas went bye-bye except the ones that I have on my space planes. Oh boy. That's definitely not something I wanted. So I staged to test as well. Okay. Well, at least the dock separation seemed fine. By the way, this is due to the Kraken and I believe this fairing. So I have wanted to show you one more attempt before I show you the fix. So when I try to deploy the shroud, look, all of my Nervas have been basically cooked together for some reason. Why? I have no idea. So in the end, I have decided not to proceed with the interstage shroud. I don't know why, but I figured, okay, rather than that, I will be putting... there is an option to enable shroud on this thrust plate. As simple as that. And then just put decoupler. Regular, nothing out of the ordinary. And then I had a graphical glitch which didn't show me the shroud. And then I thought, okay, this is gonna be looking butt ugly. But, fortunately enough, once I reloaded the craft, everything seemed to be looking okay. So, and that's what you were able to see in the Interplanetary Voyage episode when I launched. So yes. I'm also putting the Ullage motors because, yeah, they look cool when they decouple. And then we will be doing the final test before the actual launch. I was trying to find another type decoupler or anything. Basically it's the Space Y at the same, manufacturer or stuff. So, okay. Once again checking my staging. Checking different thrust plates if I can. But I think this one still does what I was thinking that it should do. Okay, this looks rather well, and I believe it's time for another test. I was just trying to see if there is another type adapter that I could be using, but I wasn't able to find anything, to be honest. Some multi-couplers or anything like that, but nothing that could really replace this thrust plate, so to say. And in the middle there is another 2.5 meter, and that's why I used adapter from 2.5 meter to 1.25 meter for the Nervas. So yeah, I wanted to add a little bit more oomph to the equation, because the thrust to weight on this one is not great, but it's decent, despite the fact that we will be using 12 Nervas. I would guess my Kerbals would be glowing, literally. Okay, once again fixing my staging. You can never be too careful with the staging. Okay, I believe it's time for another flight test. I want to be just adding struts. And let's test it. 3, 2, 1, launch! And this time we didn't break the launch pad, which is definitely a good thing. And as you can see, the engine shroud is visible once you reload the craft. Why? I have no idea. Everything seems to be working fine. We are ascending as planned. Our thrust weight is roughly 205, and I'm a little bit decreasing it, killing the throttle little by little, just to save off as much delta V as possible, because as long as our solids are pushing us, we don't really need liquid engines that much. Very nice plume behind us. And we have gone supersonic. Time to ditch the boosters. Stage 1 separation confirmed. Great. Now we are continuing only on the liquid fuel tanks, and we have 4 of those as well. Our apoapsis is at 40 and climbing, and the rocket is wobbling a little bit, but it's fine, and I'm just angling it towards the horizon. It is a little bit steeper approach, but it's still a very good one, so yeah. Okay, second stage separation. All in all, looking promising, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that my Nervas will this time not become a mashed mass of nuclear engines that will be, dancing around in the orbit, like in previous simulations. Okay, let's put the maneuver node, circularize it roughly 110. Because most of my stations are at 100 kilometers, so I prefer to be in different orbit, just to be on the safe side. Let's deploy the fairing. Okay. Fairing deployment successful. And now, after this 1000 meters per second burn, we have a moment of truth. Will our Nervas survive? Okay, lining up. So far the rocket seems to be going pretty well, and our SSTOs look cool. So it's a little bit like bonus points for style. Yes. Okay, and we will be starting our burn rather soon, because we have 200 meters per second that we need to circularize on the Nervas, and that will take some time, obviously. So kicking the gas and leaving behind our shrouds or fairing. So far seems pretty well. Valentina looking happy as ever. Why shouldn't she? She has 2 space planes at her disposal. Okay, time for that Nerva burn. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this stuff is working. And we have total of 6,600 meters per second, which is more than enough to get us to Joule. And circularize there as well. Great. Now that is definitely what I would consider a very, very successful test, all in all. Let's just see how much it will take to finalize the burn. Okay, cool. Yeah, so roughly, I just want to estimate how much delta V I will have after the circularization is fully complete. So it's not yet. Okay, comparing to how much we need, I think we have more than enough. Let's just go and accelerate and circularize. After what I believe, when we do that, I think I will be closing this for this episode. There you go, guys. This is how I've built my Laythe SpaceDock with 2 SSTOs. And those, when it comes to SSTOs, I don't know if I've shown that, but I have rerouted them. So the root part for them is the docking port, which they are attached to the main rocket. So that's how you can easily attach, you know, like shuttle to a rocket. 60 meters per second to burn. It really looks cool. And I believe we have enough, you know, freezing chambers to freeze the other 5 unlucky souls that will be traveling like popsicles. So yeah. And there we go. So I would say this is a very, very successful test. And yeah, if we set Joule as a target, if we put the maneuver node, I just want to get a rough ballpark estimate of how much it would take to burn to get to Joule, and that's roughly 2,100 more or less. We don't need to be looking exactly. Okay, let's revert to editor. Now we have roughly the numbers. So yeah, and I will be closing this episode, guys. So like if you like the episode, hit subscribe for more KSP content, and I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks.